So we'll be getting started in about another minute. So while you're here, just start to come to the middle of your mat and allow the legs to cross. So coming to the middle of the mat, crossing your legs, and just take a few moments just to settle in. And so before we begin, we want to prepare ourselves for our practice. So coming into this cross-legged position, you want to feel comfortable and grounded through your sits bones. And if you need the assistance of a block, you can always sit on your block, whatever level feels comfortable, so that you don't feel that you're rounding your back or drawing your knees into your chest or up towards your shoulders. You want to feel that the knees can actually relax open and draw your navel into the back of the spine. So finding whatever comfortable seat suits you at this moment, maybe easy pose with just your legs crossed, half lotus, or full lotus if you know those positions. But this is a beginner's class, but a lot of times beginners, people who've been practicing come to the beginner's classes too. So it's a good way to kind of bring yourself down maybe a little bit, just to focus on where you are and your breath. We want to get a nice stretch and we want to open up the body. So we're going to begin with this cross-legged position. And just sit up tall. Draw your navel into the back of the spine and place your hands gently onto your knees with your shoulders down away from the ears. Allow the chin to remain level with the mat, and then just gently let your eyes close. And just follow your breathing, keeping your mouth closed. Breathing in and out through the nose, but find that you're directing your breath through the back of your throat. So preparing our breath or coming into our breath is very important when we're moving through our poses and moving in our practice. So don't worry if you're not able to get to that breathing at the very beginning, if this is your first time taking a class, but with practice you'll start to find that it's accessible. So the breath should flow through the back of your throat. You want to hear the sound that it makes, like the ocean wave. And as you're sitting here nice and tall, trying to keep the spine as straight as possible and connecting to your breath, just feel that you're releasing and letting go of any negative tension. So maybe just noticing if you're hunching your ears up to your shoulders, your shoulders up to your ears, or if you're rounding through your back. Your hips are not open. And just notice wherever you're holding on to any tightness. And just with that breath, just let everything go as every time that you exhale. And you want to hear the sound of your breath. So if you're not really able to hear it, remember it takes practice. So just let that breath flow in and out through the back of the throat, hearing the sound of the ocean wave. And then from here, keeping your eyes closed, take an inhale. And on your exhale, lower your chin down to the chest and feel the back of your neck getting open, a nice little space through the back of the neck. Maintaining that straight spine. Let's inhale. Slowly take the head and rock it over to the right shoulder. And then exhale, lower the head down as the chin returns to the chest. Inhaling over to the left shoulder. So it's a half circle. Exhale and lower the chin back down to the chest. Inhale, rock the head over right ear to right shoulder. And exhale, bring it down. So starting to warm up through the neck and being mindful of what you might notice in your neck area. You may notice that you find some stiffness or tightness there. Maybe you're not able to go fully, completely over to one side as opposed to the other, or maybe both sides have some limitations. So when we go into our practice, we explore the possibilities, but we honor what we're faced with. So if our body is a little bit tight in some areas, we don't push through it. We accept that and we modify. So finishing up, once you come back with your left shoulder moving over towards the left ear, bring your chin back down to the chest and continue to just let the head hang and check in with your spine, making sure it's nice and straight. And then slowly bring your chin back up, chin comes level with the mat, and let your eyes slowly open as you gaze forward. Let's bring both hands into prayer position, keeping the thumbs right into the center of the heart, and raise both arms up. Lift up, inhale. And with your exhale, slowly release the arms down. So we're going to make this flowing movement here, this fluid movement with the arms lifting on the inhale, nice and slow. And then slowly coming down as you exhale. So maybe even slow your breath down. We'll do that 3 more times. And as we're doing it, close your eyes and just really experience the stretch up and then the arms lowering down as if the arms are just floating through a heavy fog. And we'll do that 2 more times, lifting up. So everyone's pace will be different. Just take your own pace. So as you continue to keep your eyes closed, remember we're doing 3 of these. And when you finish your third one, just bring your hands back into prayer into the center of your heart and hold there until everyone finishes up. So maybe you're only on your second one, maybe you're on your third one, maybe you're already done, but wherever you are, you're going to finish up with your hands returning to prayer position into the center of the heart and continue to keep your eyes closed. So every once in a while, you'll hear me ask you to close your eyes, but only do that and sustain it if you feel comfortable and don't feel dizzy or off balance. So you never want to feel that you're going to fall when you're in a pose. So you want to always remain in control. So if closing your eyes makes you feel a little off balance, then just keep your eyes open. So everyone should now be with your hands in prayer, thumbs into the center of your heart. Let's take both arms all the way up. Inhale. I'm going to turn and twist towards the right. As you exhale, open your arms and just twist as the left hand finds the right knee. The right hand comes behind you next to your tailbone. Pull the shoulders down, lift out through your hips, and rotate your chest open towards the right shoulder. Keep the crown of your head over your tailbone. So try not to lean your body back. You don't want to round your back. So that's why it's important that we start with the straight spine and then make the rotation, continuing to keep the spine long. And then let your eyes close and just breathe where you are. So we give ourselves time to just stay in the pose and hold the pose. And we explore whether we're in the pose a little too deeply. And if we are, we just modify and ease out slightly until we feel that it's comfortable where we can maintain it for several breaths. So let's take one more inhale. And on your exhale, let your eyes open. Inhale, take both arms all the way up and turn and twist over to the left side. As you exhale, the right hand finds the knee. Left hand comes next to your tailbone. So make sure your back is nice and long. Inhale, long spine, and then rotating over to the left. So try not to force your chin to push over towards the left shoulder because you don't want to strain your neck. So let the rotation really come from your chest. As you move your chest, the head will just naturally come with you. And then closing your eyes and exploring the space that's rising and falling or moving up and down the spine. Close your eyes and again, notice that squeeze. And slowly open your eyes. Inhale. And exhale, return back to center. Now, however you can, let's come into a tabletop position. So we're always going to keep that block handy for the possibility if we need it. So you want to be right in the middle of your mat with your palms directly under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And you want to spread your fingers wide. So try to turn the thumbs to face towards each other. And your middle finger and pointer finger want to face more to the front of your mat. And pull your shoulders back. Let's curl the toes, and as we do, start to lift your tailbone up to the ceiling and lift your chest forward and then raise your head. And then flatten your toes to the mat. Start to round through the lower back, tucking your belly into the back of the spine, and then chin into the chest last. Inhale, let the toes curl. Begin to tilt your tail. As you move your chest forward, then let the head come up flat. Exhale, flatten your toes and start to round through the lower back first, allowing the chin to come into the chest flat. Do this on your own a few more times. Close your eyes and experience your own stretch through your back. And try to keep the arms straight, so you don't want to bend your elbows and you don't want to be rocking your body forward and back. So you want to be stable on your hands and knees and just moving your spine, and just notice the stretching that's occurring in your back and through the shoulders and the neck. The next time that you round through your back, bringing your chin into the chest, just hold here and really squeeze your navel into the back of the spine and feel yourself really opening and stretching the lower back. And then return to a neutral spine, neutral position here. And we're going to curl the toes. And as you curl the toes, you're going to push your tailbone back towards your heel. And then you're going to sit on your heels. So we're going to stretch out the soles of the feet. Come back as far as you can. Maybe you can come up so that you're sitting up with your shoulders stacked over your hips. So we want to really feel the stretch opening into the soles of the feet, but you're also getting a little bit of a stretch through the quadriceps. And let's hold here, bring your hands in prayer, and let your eyes close. And any tension or anything that you're feeling through the feet, just breathe through it. So not really focusing on the feet, but if you bring your awareness and attention more to the breath, you won't be looking at what's happening in that stretch through your soles of the feet. Of course, if you feel that you're getting a Charlie horse or a cramp in your foot, you want to come out. And then let your eyes open, and let's slide the hands forward. We're going to come with the hands to the front of the mat, slightly beyond your shoulders. You're going to lift your knees, lift your hips, drop your head for a down dog position. We're not going to hold it here that long, so start to walk your feet, look forward. Walk your feet to the front of your mat and come to the very top of your mat. From here, we're going to hang in ragdoll pose. So bend the knees as much as you need to and find your opposite elbows, or bring the pinky fingers into the creases of your elbows. And let your head hang. Feel your whole spine opening and let the head really remain heavy. And then just shake your head yes, shake your head no. And feel that all the tension is coming out from the shoulders. And if you feel that you want to, you can sway it out side to side. If this creates any kind of pain, don't do it. So anytime that you're feeling pain, you don't want to stay in the pose, you want to come out of the pose. Pain is not what we want to hold. We want to hold the stretch so that we feel the opening of that stretch occurring in the body. And then just let your hands collapse down, and then slowly bend the knees a little bit more, pull your belly into the back of the spine, and start to feel that you're pulling your tailbone towards the mat as you roll yourself up. So one vertebra at a time, allowing the chin to come off the chest at the last moment. So once your back is nice and straight, your tailbone is tucked under, your shoulders are back, then raise your chin parallel to the mat. And let's roll the shoulders up to the ears, roll them back and down. 2 more times, rolling the shoulders up and bringing them back and down. Really squeeze through your shoulder blades, feel your chest expand. And finishing up, bring both arms all the way up. Inhale. Taking a twist, turning to the right. So you're going to open your arms in a T position, left arm forward, right arm behind you. And both arms lift again, inhale. And rotating to the left as you exhale. Right arm forward, left arm behind. Lift up again, inhale. And take your twist to the right. Exhale, the left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale up. And twisting over to the left. We'll do that one more time for both sides. Inhale up and twist to the right as you exhale, and finishing up on the left. Lift up, inhale, and turn to the left as you exhale. Both arms lift up, inhale. And when you're here, bring your hands to prayer and take the thumbs right into the center of your heart and bring your big toes to touch. Make sure you're at the very top of your mat. Tailbone is pressing down towards the floor, shoulders down away from your ears, chin level with the mat. Gazing forward, So you can either gaze forward at a spot on the wall in front of you, or you can close your eyes, whatever feels good. And just notice if you've created any energy that's flowing through your body just by moving in those little rotations. Maybe you've accelerated your heart rate slightly. So be mindful of when that energy starts to increase. So when that energy increases, we're mindful of our breath. And remembering to listen to the sound the breath makes. And then slowly let your eyes open if they're closed. And let's raise both arms all the way up. Inhale. As you stretch your arms up, bring your hands together. And you want to interlace all fingers except your index finger for steeple fingers or Kali Mudra. And you want to stretch the tips of the fingers up to the ceiling. Pull your belly in. So try not to overarch the back. So really feel more like you're tucking your tailbone under. Reach up as high as you can through the tips of the fingers, keeping the arms alongside your ears. Lift up, inhale, and exhale, take your side bend over to the right. So you want to take your left hip, push it out to the left, and reach the fingertips over to the right. Try to get those arms as straight as possible, and try to keep this lateral stretch here. You don't want to round through the back and point the fingers to the front of the room. You want to go more over to the side. And then come back up, inhale, stretching up a little higher. Exhale over to the left side. Now the right hip pushes out and keep stretching through the fingers. Check in, make sure your ears are not hunching to the shoulders are not hunching to your ear. And come back up, inhale. Exhale, let's release, float those arms all the way down and bring them back into your prayer position with your thumbs to the center of your heart. Just noticing if by doing that, maybe your heart rate has increased just by doing your side bend. And then from here, we're going to take it down to the floor. So let's raise the arms all the way up. Inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands to the mat. One leg is going to go back, so we'll start with the left leg going back. If you can't lift the leg to slide it back, to bring it back into a lunge, slide it back on your mat until you get that left foot as far back as possible, keeping your right knee over your ankle. Once your left leg is back as far as you can get it, allow the knee to lower down to the mat. So you want to keep your right knee directly over the right ankle, and you want your left knee to be a little bit beyond your left hip. So we're going to take the arms back, inhale, squeezing your palms towards each other, and then exhale, peel your chest off your thigh. Raise both arms all the way up. And if this doesn't feel good with your arms up, you can either keep your hands in prayer or place your hands onto your right thigh. Now tuck your tail under and send your hips a little bit further forward. So remembering again, you want to keep that back knee a little bit beyond your left hip. So you don't want that knee to be directly under your hip. So we're feeling a stretch into the left hip flexor. And then from here, let's bring both hands down on either side of your right foot. We're going to take the right arm, extend it forward, bring the arm close to your ear, peel your chest off your left side. If you need the assistance of your block, you can bring it right next to your right big toe. Whatever level feels good, the flatter end, the medium size, or the taller edge of your block. And we're going to rotate the chest. So when you lift the arm up alongside your ear, lift your chest off your right thigh and rotate your rib cage to the ceiling. Pull your right knee in towards the midline of your body and try to really feel that your inner thighs are squeezing. Now, if you can't get your arm up and your arm is out to the side, place your hand on your hip and just roll the shoulder back so that you don't force the shoulder to come forward. So if the arm isn't able to extend all the way up, then this is what you want to do, is keep your hand here and keep feeling that you're twisting and rotating your chest up towards the ceiling. And continue to gaze up. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to release. Take that right hand back down on the pinky side of your right foot. Remove your block if you had it next to your big toe. Curl the back toes. Lift your knee. And you're going to take your left foot forward. So now we're going to do the same side for the left, the same thing on the left. So the right leg is going to slide back or pick it up and send it back. Maybe you need to keep wiggling back. Find where that stretch is. So make sure the left knee is over the ankle and then allow the right knee to go down. Flatten the toes on your right foot. Stretch your arms back behind you. And when you feel that your palms are pushing towards each other, you're going to really feel your chest opening and your shoulder blades squeezing. And then hinge from your hips. Keep tucking your tail under as you raise your chest off your left thigh. Bring both arms all the way up. And your option is to stay here, or you can bring your hands to prayer, or you can place your hands onto your left hip. Make sure, again, that your right hip is not over that right knee. So you want to you don't want to be standing at a 90-degree angle on your knee. You want to push forward and breathe here. Feel the navel pulling into the back of the spine and tuck your pelvis under so that you're not really overarching your lower back. So you really want to squeeze the belly into the back of the spine. And then from here, both hands are going to come all the way up. Inhale. If they're already up, you're fine where you need to be, and bring both hands back down to either side of your mat, either side of your foot on the mat. If you need the block, you can take the block to whatever level feels comfortable. Place your right hand onto the block or the floor. Keep your left knee over the ankle and sweep the left arm forward alongside your ear. Peel your chest off the left thigh and start to rotate the rib cage. If your left arm does not go up, so if you notice the arm is out to the side, bring the hand to your hip. This is helping us understand our rotation. So roll the shoulder back and rotate your rib cage up towards the ceiling. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep pulling your left knee in towards the midline of your body, and make sure that you're breathing here. Nice deep inhale and exhale. We'll take it 2 more breaths. Inhale, keep pulling your left knee into the midline of the body. And then 1 more inhale and exhale. Release the left hand down. Remove your block. And we're going to take the right foot forward to meet the left. So lifting the knee, I'm going to bring your right foot forward to the left. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen your spine. Fold with your exhale. And arms out in T, hinge from your hips. And let's come all the way up. Bring your hands to prayer and look up at your hands. Follow the hands down to the center of your heart. And noticing if you're feeling some energy flowing through your body. Option 2, keep the eyes closed or open, whatever is feeling comfortable for you at this moment. So we're only in the moment that we have, so really just be present with each moment. Not worrying about what happens next. And not making any anticipation, not having any anticipation of what poses are going to come next or whether you're going to be able to do them or not. So let's open the eyes. We're going to bring both arms down. We're going to take a step back with the right foot. And so when you take your right foot back, you're going to bring the instep of your right foot in alignment with the left foot. So the toes of your right foot are going to angle to the longer edge of the mat, a little bit to the front corner of the mat. So they're not facing the back of the mat, and they're not completely straight facing the long edge. They're a little turned about 45-degree angle. Now your left leg is going to stay straight. You're going to pull your hips to face that longer edge of the mat. So your left leg is completely facing the front end. You want to engage your left thigh. So tighten up your left quadricep. Bring both arms out in T position. Keep your navel pulled into the back of the spine and try not to arch your lower back. And then we're going to reach out with the left hand for triangle. So reach the left hand. Don't bend the left leg, but imagine someone's pulling your fingers to that wall that's in front of you, and you're going to feel your left thigh pushing into your left hip, and the right hip moves back. And then just place the hand down towards the shin. Don't start to lean your chest towards the floor. Keep your chest facing that front side of the long side of your mat, so the wall that's in front of you. And then bring your right hand onto your right hip and roll the shoulder open. So same thing as what you did when we were in our lunge. If your arm is not able to reach and extend up, then keep your hand on your right hip so that you feel that rotation. And when you feel that rotation and that right shoulder stacks over the left, the arm will just naturally be able to float up. But if we have the chest more down towards the mat, when we try to lift the arm, it's going to go to the fingers are going to reach to the corner or the side wall. We want to really rotate open. Look down at your left big toe and bring yourself back up. Keep that left thigh engaged. Both arms are in T position. And now let's switch the feet. So you're going to turn the left toes so that they face the long angle of the long edge of the mat. And the right toes are going to now completely turn so that they're facing the short end of the back of your mat, with your right heel lined up with the instep of your left foot. So check to make sure you have that space. And you should be about 3 feet to 3.5 feet apart. So we don't want to have the feet too close and try to make our triangle from this point. We want to get those legs out as far as we possibly can while we're able to feel comfortable in this stance. Keep the navel drawn in, tailbone is pushing down. Engage your right quadricep, so pull the right quad into your right hip. Reach out with the right fingers and stretch out. Bring the hand down towards your shin. Take your left hand to your left hip. Now push that left shoulder back so that you feel you're rotating the rib cage and stacking your left shoulder over your right. Then when you're ready, the left arm goes up. And if it doesn't go up and you notice it's going to the corner of the room, that's your indication that you may need to keep the hand on your hip. Look up towards the ceiling, and if this strains your neck, just keep the crown of your hip facing towards that diagonal on the right side. Keep that spine nice and long. Feel that you're tucking your tail under, so not arching through your lower back. And then from here, look down at your right big toe. And let's take it back. Both arms come up in T position. Inhale. And exhale, release the arms all the way down. So now let's turn so that the left foot is going to turn once again to the front of your mat. Same position as before, but if possible, wiggle the feet out a little bit more. Make sure that you feel in control. You don't want to go too far. Even if you have the ability to stretch out, you don't want to go too far where you feel that you're not in control. Heel to instep alignment. Those right toes slightly turn to the long edge of the mat. Left leg is straight. Both hips face the long edge of the mat. So inhaling, the belly pulls in. Inhale the arms out. And then as you exhale, you're just going to bend your left leg as you press your tailbone. So we're bending the leg. We're not reaching the body forward towards the left, to the front of your mat. So you're not reaching with your fingers. Your left side does not go over your left side. So all you're doing is pressing your pelvis down and shoulders are down. And then keep feeling that outer rotation. That left thigh rotates outward. Maybe even lift up your big toe. That might help to feel that you're stabilizing that thigh. And relax your shoulders. Keep your belly pulled in. And if your body begins to shake, that means it's working. So when it does start to shake, just go into your breath a little bit more. See if you can sustain holding this pose, developing your strength and flexibility. And then from here, keeping that left thigh parallel to the floor, right arm lowers to the right leg. Turn your left palm up, reach the arm up, and take a lateral stretch, a side stretch, reaching the left fingers over to the back of your mat. But make sure your left knee doesn't roll down towards the big toe side of the foot. So you want to keep feeling that you're engaging your left thigh, lifting out from that left hip, opening the rib cage, and maybe looking into the inner elbow. And then both arms back in T position for your warrior two. Straighten your left leg, and let's reverse. So once again, the left toes are going to now come to the long edge of your mat, and the right toes are going to go to the shorter end of the back of your mat. With the right heel lined up with the instep of your left foot, make sure that you have enough space so that when you bend your right leg, the knee is over your ankle. If you have a short amount of space and you bend your knee and it's over your toes, you want to bring that foot further towards the shorter end of the mat. Bend the leg, press your tailbone down. Remember, we're not reaching with the fingers. Let the shoulders relax. Open up that inner right thigh, rotating it outward. And you can lift up the right toe, shoulders are down, belly in, gaze down the fingers of your right hand. Really feel that you're really pressing firmly the back of your left foot into the pinky side of the foot so that the arch of your left foot feels that it's lifting up. Don't bend the knee. You don't want to drop into the lower to the arch. You want to push down into the full outer edge of your left foot. And then let your left hand lower to the left leg. Turn your right palm up and reach the arm up and feel that your right hip is pulling down away from the rib cage, maybe even letting that right side come a little more parallel to the mat, and stretch, look up to the inner elbow. And if it doesn't feel good to look up, just gaze towards that longer side of your mat, but towards whatever wall is in front of you, in front of your chest. And breathe here, making sure that right knee doesn't drop down. And let's bring our gaze back, arms out in T, gazes down the fingers of your right hand, back to our warrior two. Inhale, let's straighten the right leg. And let's exhale, turn so that the feet are going to face towards the left side, the front side of your mat. So left toes turn, and we're going to rotate into a high lunge. So the left toes are facing the smaller edge of the mat. The right toes turn so that they're trying to pull the right hip forward. So the more you turn your right toes, the more it directs your right hip forward. And then you're going to let that right heel lift and spin those hips a little further forward than the left leg for your high lunge. Push back through your right heel. Now, if it doesn't feel good keeping your arms here, you can keep your hands on your hips. Squeeze your inner thighs together, push back through your right heel. Keep your belly in. Let's bring both arms all the way up. Inhale. And we're going to turn so that we face towards the long edge of the mat again, rotating to the back of the mat. So you want to spin the left toes, right toes turn towards the short end of the back of your mat. Bend your left leg, rotate your hips, raise up off of that left heel, and bend your right leg. If the arms don't feel good here, keep them on your hips. You can always lift your arms up. Feel that left heel pushing back. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And then from here, bring both arms out in T position once again. And rotate now towards the longer edge of your mat. Allow the toes to face completely to the long edge of the mat. Not diagonal, so you're not turning out to the corner, but completely facing that long edge. Keeping the legs about 3.5 to 4 feet apart. Place your hands to your hip, pull your belly in. Pull your elbows towards each other, squeezing that navel into the back of the spine. Lift out from the hips, lifting your chest to the ceiling as you inhale. And then on your exhale, begin to fold forward. Try not to arch the back, so keep that tuck in your tailbone. Keep bending those elbows towards each other. And just fold to where you can go comfortably without bending the legs. So some of us may only go less than halfway. Some of us may go all the way down completely, depending on your own flexibility. From here, let's bring both hands down. So if you need to bend the legs, you're going to bend and rotate over to the left foot. Once you're there, you're going to take yourself into that lunge and bring the right foot to meet the left. And then we're going to slide the hands up the shins as you straighten your legs. Inhale, long spine. Exhale and fold. And then bring the arms out in T. Keep the navel drawn in. Hinge from your hip and lift all the way up. Bring your hands to prayer and return your hands back to the center of your heart. With your eyes open or closed. If your eyes are open, just gaze forward. Or you can draw your chin down to the chest and just look into the heart center and breathe. Notice the flow of energy in your body. And let's stay here for a few more breaths. So we're going to continue just to hold in mountain pose. So we're going to work on that by bringing the arms down. Make sure you're at the very top of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch and then lift the toes off the mat. Spread them wide. And as you spread them wide, place each toe down. Make sure that you can see some space in between your toes when you really separate them. You want to see some mat in between your toes. As you place them down, you want to keep the toes spread wide. Feel a sense of lifting out of the arches of your feet, rounding through the four corners of your feet. Rotate your hips open slightly, engaging your abdominal muscles. Keep the tailbone down. And let the hands just slightly turn forward and roll your shoulders back. So try not to force your chest to push forward, but you just want to squeeze your shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades just squeeze without feeling the chest protruding forward. Tailbone is tucked under, outward rotation. Hips feel as if they're rotating outward, and you're in your mountain pose now, extending the fingers to the earth. And let those shoulders relax. Continue to keep your chin level with the mat, and if you feel like closing your eyes, you can do that. Maybe you close your eyes 1 or 2 breaths and then you have to open them, but that's okay. Wherever you are is perfect, so just accept it. And don't be too hard on yourself if you find that some of the poses are a little challenging. And let's hold, connect to your breath. Remember, we want to hear the sound of that breath flowing in and out through the back of the throat, making the sound of the ocean waves. So as you stand here, it may look like you're not doing anything, but there's a lot of work. You're activating the thigh muscles, your glutes are squeezing, your tailbone is pressing down, your fingers are energized, reaching towards the mat. Then let your eyes open if they're already closed, and let's take the arms, extend them all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, open the arms out in T position and separate your legs about hip distance apart. So a little wider. Keep your shoulders down. We're going to shift the weight over onto the left foot. And as we do, first you want to spread the toes wide, press down into the ball mound of the left toe, and then all the rest of the toes, so that you feel your toes lifting and you're grounding into the ball mound. Then let the toes flatten down. As your weight is shifted over to the left, gently pick up your right leg and try to let that right thigh come parallel to the floor. So you might only be able to lift your foot a little bit, remembering to just take it to where you can maintain. So if you try to force your leg to go up and you're constantly back and forth, work your way where you feel that you are balanced, and then eventually your leg will be able to come up higher. So now, just holding on that left foot, we're going to turn and rotate left arm forward, right arm back. Hold here. Keep that right knee forward. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Bring both arms back in T position. And lower the foot, lower the arms. And if you feel that you need to shake out your leg, your left foot, you can shake out the foot, rotate the foot from the ankle, and then come back with your legs about hip distance apart, and lift the toes on your right foot. Once you do, press down into the ball mound of the big toe and down to the pinky toe ball mound, and then slowly spread the toes and place them down to the mat. Feel a sense of lifting out of that right arch and really ground through that right foot. Bring your arms out in T position, soften the shoulders, squeeze your belly into the back of the spine, and then let the left leg lift. Taking it up only as high as you can, and try to make sure your heel is not underneath your left buttock. So you want to keep your knee and your heel aligned as best as possible. And so taking your foot up, if it only comes up a little bit, eventually with practice you'll be able to lift it up higher. So feel those inner thighs squeezing. Keep breathing. Taking our rotation now, so the left arm's going to go back, the right arm's going to come forward, and try not to cross your left knee over towards the right. So you want to keep your right knee still facing towards the small edge of your mat, front of your mat. And then bring both arms back in T position, and lower the left leg, lower the arm, and slowly shake out that right leg if you need to, and shake out the foot. So we're going to end up on the mat, so let's keep the legs about hip distance apart. Bring both arms all the way up, inhale, and as you exhale, open your arms, swan dive down. Bend your knees if you need to as you place your hands to the floor. Step one leg back, Send your other leg back and come right down onto your knee. And we're going to take a rest in child's pose. So we didn't come into child's pose, but this is important, an important pose. So bring your big toes together, open your knees as wide as you need to, and let your tailbone press down towards the heel. So child's pose is a resting pose. Whenever you're moving through your practice and you feel you need a rest, come here. Rather than just sitting there and waiting, rest for a moment so that you just experience the rest while you're staying connected to your breath. And just let your hips press back. So if you feel that your hips are too high up, you can always bring a block underneath your forehead and try to let your hips lower down. So if we don't want to have the head come down with the hips up. So lifting the head up or lifting the chest up a little higher helps push the hips back a little bit more. So just breathe and just press through your tailbone. So from here, if you have your head on your block, you're going to remove your block and then come back onto all fours. So you're going to lift your hips off to the heels, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and take your knees back underneath the hips. Take your legs and extend them out to one side and end up sitting down onto your buttocks. So once you're on your butt, you want to extend your legs straight out. If you need the block to sit on to make sure that back stays straight, you can sit on the block, and you want to just gently move the flesh away from your buttocks. So maybe rocking side to side, pull that flesh away. Draw your navel into the back of the spine and let the shoulders remain stacked over the hips. Flex your feet so you're pressing the backs of your knees down to the floor. So when you flex your feet, your legs are automatically engaging into a stretch through the hamstrings and a little bit into the quadriceps, the tops of your legs. Now take your hands in prayer and raise your arms all the way up towards the ears. Remember, we don't want to round the back and hunch. You want to keep length. And then from here, just hinge as far as you can go, and then just float your arms down. Don't think of it as folding forward. Just think of it as hinging from your hips, and then bring your hands down in front of you without rounding the shoulders. So I could come up and then round, and then touch my toes and round through the whole back, but that's not what we want to do. We want the back to remain long as we hinge and then place the hands down. Then once we get that spot where we are, just close your eyes. You're going to feel, with the maintaining of the flexed feet, you're going to feel the legs, the back of the legs stretching, but you want to really feel most of this through your lower back. So feel your hips pulling back as you begin to try and bring your belly closer to your side. So that's stretching into your lower back. Don't worry about reaching for your toes. And then wherever you are, just see if you can start to fold a little lower. So we want to start off with that long spine and eventually move down towards the thighs. And so depending on your flexibility, eventually maybe you'll touch your thighs to your chest to your thighs. You want to keep pulling the shoulders back. And then slowly lift up, inhale, and walk both hands up. Scoot yourself to the front of your mat, and once you get there, lower onto your back. So you're on your back, your feet are going to be flat on the floor with your knees bent. The back of your head is on the mat. And just place your hands right onto your belly. So you want to touch the tips of your thumbs and the tips of your index fingers together. And just let that thumb area just rest in your navel. And let the palms rest to the lower part of your belly. So the tips of the index fingers are pointing down towards your pelvis. And really let your lower back really squeeze into the mat. So you're in a little bit of a pelvic tilt. And then just let your breath flow in through your belly. So let your belly start to rise with the inhale. So push your belly into your palms. And then on your exhale, pull your belly away from your palms. So that we're noticing our breathing coming way down in through the navel area, in through the belly. Close your eyes and just continue with this breath. Just being mindful of the belly rising and falling on your inhale and your exhale. So when we keep focusing on our belly, we notice our breathing. Maybe we can slow the breath down. And when we notice our breathing, we just more focusing on the breathing, and the thoughts are not coming into the mind. So a lot of times when our mind starts to think, that's when we can get ourselves into trouble. It's more important that we're present in what we're experiencing than thinking about what we're doing, as far as whether you're doing it the right way, the wrong way. Always listen. Your body will tell you if it feels good, and if it feels good, you're pretty much in the right position. But we do want to make sure that we are safe in these poses. That's why it takes time and practice. So now let's release the arms down. Take your right foot on top of your left thigh and let your right knee just gently open forward. So as that right knee opens, you're going to feel your right hip just getting a little bit of stretch. From here, lift your left foot off the mat and push that left thigh into your ankle. And if you want, interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Pull that thigh in towards that left ankle, and the more you pull in, the more that right hip opens. So now you want to go into the stretch. Keep pulling the navel into the spine, so try not to arch the lower back. And then close your eyes where you are. And breathe. If you want a little bit more intensity in the stretch, keep pulling the thigh closer to your chest, the left thigh. And then release. The left foot comes back down, and take your right foot back to the mat. Switching it out, left foot comes on top of the right thigh, and let that left knee just gently open forward so that you feel the left hip releasing into a stretch here. And then when you're ready, you can lift up the right foot. You may not want to lift up the right foot. You may be feeling an intense stretch right here. So if you want, your foot can lift, and then you can interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. So everybody's flexibility is different, so listen to where your body is. If you know you have very tight hips, maybe just keeping that right foot down and the left ankle on top of the thigh is all you need to stretch out that left hip. And eventually, with practice, when the hip opens up a little more, maybe the foot can lift. And then eventually, maybe you'll get to bring the hands behind your thigh. But pay attention to what your body experiences when you move through these poses. And then slowly release your hands. Place that right foot down to the mat and take the left foot onto the floor. And then just windshield wiper, take your feet, heel toe your feet out to the very edges of your mat with your knees over your ankles. So you're a little wide straddle here. Open the arms out in T position. Inhale, navel into the spine. Exhale, knees over to the right. And just hold here. Inhale, knees come up to the center. Exhale over to the left. And just hold here. So we're going to finish off with a twist, and then we'll go into our relaxation. So bring those knees back up. Heel toe your feet back together. Pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around. Rock from side to side to massage out your lower back. Just massaging out. Send your left leg straight out onto the floor and hug the right thigh into your chest. Take hold of the outside of your right knee with your left hand. Bring your right arm in T with the shoulder down on the floor, palm on the floor. Inhale, navel pulls into the spine. Exhale, right leg crosses over the left. And as you move that right knee down, try not to pop the shoulder and move the whole body. So you want to move your right knee and stretch and twist into the right side. Relax the right shoulder and then gaze down the fingers of your right hand. Close your eyes. Breathe where you are. Slowly bring your head back center. Take that right leg back up and let that right foot come flat to floor. Bring the left knee into the chest and slide your right foot straight out. Let the leg rest down. Take hold of the outside of the left hand with your right knee. the left knee with your right hand, and bring your left arm in T with the palm on the floor. Keep that left shoulder on the mat. Inhale the navel into the spine. Exhale, that left knee crosses over. And you're going into your twist as long as that left shoulder stays down. Just keep letting that knee lower. So you may notice resistance, tightness. That's where your edge is, but you want to keep that shoulder from lifting up. And look over the left shoulder down to the fingers of your left hand and let your eyes gently close. Enjoy this beautiful twist. Nice stretch. And inhale, return your head center. Exhale, left leg comes back up. And take your right knee, bring it into your chest. One final hug, rocking gently side to side. And then allow the rocking to stop. Keeping the navel pulled into the back of the spine. Inhale, lift your nose up towards the knees. Hold here with your exhale. Inhale, pull in a little closer. Exhale, inhale a little closer. And exhale, let everything come on, back down onto the mat. Let your feet come flat to the floor, and then slide your legs straight forward. So you want to lie down now, preparing for our final pose. Relaxation is next. Shavasana, corpse pose. Let your arms open away from the sides of your body. So you want to keep your arms about 6 or 7 inches away. You don't want to have your arms out in T position, but you want them slightly open away from the side body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, feel your chest lift, and then just relax your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Close your eyes and let your feet gently flop out to the side. As you close your eyes, start to just check in with your body. If your chin is down towards your chest, lift it up. If your chin is up towards the ceiling, lower down towards your chest a little bit so that the neck area straightens out and you're not crunching into your neck. And just as you let everything go, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose and then open your mouth and sigh it out. Do that 2 more times. Deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. So really make that sound. Let go. Last time, deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth. Exhale, let it out. Let your body relax. As you close your eyes, just focus on the breath that just flows in and out of your body. So let your mind have something to concentrate on as you're resting and relaxing. So we'll be here for about 10 minutes or so, and this is the time that we integrate the work that we've done. Don't let your mind go into being distracted with what you could or could not do. Let your mind just connect to your breath, to the present moment. So a lot of times we're always thinking ahead of what we need to do or focusing on what we've done before instead of just being present. All we have now is this present moment. So really enjoy the sensations of letting go, letting your body relax. And one, just try to remain as still as possible. And maybe as you're relaxing more and more, you can feel and experience the changes that happen in your body as you let go. Maybe you don't even feel your legs anymore, your arms. Maybe you don't even feel your whole body. And just feel yourself melting deeper into the mat. Let go and relax completely. Just noticing how you feel. Very, very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes. And slowly take your head and just turn it to one side. Bring it back to center and turn your head to the other side. And return it back to center. Integrating more movement now in through your wrists and ankles. Slowly taking time to come back to this present moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Inhale, reach and stretch your arms all the way behind your head over towards the back of your mat. Stretch those feet. Exhale out any side sounds or moans. Get a nice, beautiful, awakening stretch. Hugging your knees into your chest. Pull them in and then just rock it out gently, slowly. Massage your back. And when you feel ready, roll your whole body all the way over to the right side of your mat. You come into a comfortable fetal position. Let your head rest gently on your inner arm. So make a soft pillow for your head to rest. And as you lie on your side, stay here for a few more moments. Be with your stillness. Be with your peace. Just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling. Know that this is the result and the effort that you put in to your practice. This is what you experience. With your left hand, press down into the floor and raise yourself up into a seated position. So slowly taking your time to come up. And once you're sitting up nice and tall with your legs crossed, bring your hands together in prayer, letting your thumbs come right into the center of your heart. Make sure that you feel that length through your spine. Relaxing your shoulders, keep your eyes closed. And we'll take one long Om to close out our practice, to seal in what we've gained, what we've learned, to seal in this focus, the flexibility, understanding of our bodies, our practice. We'll chant Om one time. Nice deep breath in. Om. And very slowly lower your chin down to your chest as you bow to the light and love that shines within you. Know that that light and love shines brightly within each and every one of us. Namaste. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. And I hope to see you soon and continue to practice. Enjoy this beautiful day.